It's totally fine if there are days where you feel burnt out and you feel tired with what you're doing. You just have to see the bigger picture and you have to make sure that you're constantly reminding yourself of what you want. Having hope is probably the biggest indicator here because no one's going to push you, no one's going to remind you about your dreams except for yourself. Hey everyone, it's CK. So welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something very important and close to my heart. So as you can see in the title down below, we're going to be talking about how to balance your full-time job or your 9 to 5 with your passion. So I'm currently at the cafe today and I feel a little bit shy filming, but it's okay. My sister's beside me. So it's 8:46 p.m. and there aren't a lot of people in the cafe now. So I feel like it's okay to talk. Good thing with this mic, I don't have to talk so loud for you guys to hear me. Don't mind me if I'm looking at my phone. I just put some pointers down here. So just a little bit of a backstory. I've been working from home or doing remote work for 4 years now. 1 year as an ESL teacher, teaching English to kids online, and then 3 years as a VA or virtual assistant. And so far, I'm really happy with what I'm doing. Since it is remote work, it has been a lot easier for me to do dance or to do commercials at the same time. It's still challenging because I work graveyard shift, so sometimes I don't get any sleep, but sometimes you just gotta make sacrifices and you can't have everything. But even if you're not working from home, you should be able to still get some tips and advice from this video because I still teach you how you can balance your full-time job with your passion. Okay, so first things first, you have to identify what is your passion or what do you really love to do aside from your regular day-to-day job. So honestly, that could be anything from dancing, singing, cooking, doing crochet, any of that. And don't feel bad because sometimes it may evolve. So maybe a couple years ago, it was dancing and then now you're more into reading or creating videos. So you don't have to pressure yourself that the person that you were a couple years ago isn't really who you align with now. That's totally fine because we are humans, so we're constantly evolving. So anyway, once you figure out what your passion is and what you really love to do, it's time to set some small goals. So for example, if you're into photography or videography, then instead of using, I will become a professional photographer, you can say, I will photograph 1 hour each weekend. That gives a more attainable goal and it doesn't pressure you to become a professional photographer right away, but it still makes you do small actions towards that goal. So for a personal example, I work from Monday to Friday, but during the weekends, I take class, I go to training, or I have some dance shows. But I understand that not everyone is privileged to have that free time in the weekend because maybe you're taking care of your family members or maybe you have a kid. So that's totally fine. You can do it maybe once a month or twice a month. So my next tip is to create a balanced schedule. If you're like me, my schedule is sometimes all over the place. And yes, I have a certain time schedule for work and other responsibilities, but it can easily turn out as a freestyle because as a dancer or as a person doing commercials, then sometimes you have rush projects or shows that come up unexpectedly. When that happens, I make sure that I give myself grace and always tell myself that not all the time there are opportunities that come up, especially as a dancer. So you just have to take them and hope for the best. But if what you want to do is pretty straightforward and there aren't, unexpected time schedules or anything like that, then you can use either Google Calendar or Asana or just an app that will help you. If you don't want anything digital, then you can use a planner that has helped me also over the past few years. It's just easier for you to see what's happening on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and especially the weekends. Make sure to avoid overloading. In the beginning, you may feel pressured to be doing a lot right away, but honestly, that is the key to quick burnout. So make sure that you're still setting days for rest and for you to be getting enough sleep. Balance your days to make sure that you're still getting enough relaxation. So my next tip is to communicate your needs or ask help. So what I mean by this is if you're living in your house with your family or a roommate or maybe a partner, then you can communicate with them and tell them what your goals are. I think this is very important because when you express that you have certain time schedules for things, people will understand and know how important it is for you. Or you can even ask help for them. For example, if you are a content creator like me, you can ask your sister to take footage of you, or ask your partner to help you out with some videos, to help you out with some photos. You don't have to do everything yourself. I think that it's okay to be open when it comes to your personal goals and your passions, so that the people in your circle and the people around you know how to give you those boundaries if you need them. I have been very open with my family and my friends for over the past years, and they know that I'm doing my best to balance when to pay my bills and also to follow what I really want to do, which is my dancing and performing. They have not only supported me, but also offer a helping hand when I need it. Another key indicator is your support system. Since we are talking about friends and family and your partners, then I think that going after your passion with a good support system will make life a lot easier for you. But again, that is totally your choice. If you don't feel comfortable to open up to everyone and you kind of want to go through your goals alone, then that's perfectly fine. I just want to remind you that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, and it's actually a sign of strength, because you're honest and you're brave enough to know that you need extra help. So my next tip is to use your job as an inspiration. Especially in the beginning, when you're living alone or you have your very first corporate job or whatever job it may be, it might not be your dream job yet. There will be days when you're probably asking yourself, why am I here, or why am I still doing this job? But even if it's not what we're aligned to do yet, it doesn't mean that it's not going to help us in the long run. The truth is, our regular 9-to-5 jobs are what pays the bills in the beginning. I actually do know a lot of people who follow their passion and turn it into a career, so it's really not impossible. But since we are talking about balancing your regular job and your passion, then I do want to say it's totally fine if there are days where you feel burnt out and you feel tired with what you're doing. You just have to see the bigger picture, and you have to make sure that you're constantly reminding yourself of what you want. Having hope is probably the biggest indicator here, because no one's going to push you, no one's going to remind you about your dreams except for yourself. An example of using your job as inspiration is connecting with your coworkers or your colleagues. I'm a firm believer that you can learn anything from anyone. Over the years, working with my colleagues and my coworkers, they have taught me things that actually helped me with my passion, with content creation, even with dance. And I'm truly grateful for them, because I can see that they're also pushing towards what they want, and they're also working towards their passions. You can also use the skills that you learn from your regular job to your passion. So a personal example is my work. Since I'm a VA in digital marketing, then I can use the skills that I'm learning and apply it to my own channels or to my own social media brand. I think I'm lucky enough that the companies that I work for were very, very supportive with what I wanted to do. And yes, they know that I am dancing on the side, that I do performances in the weekends or even sometimes in the weekdays. But since I'm honest with them about what I'm doing, then they support me, as long as it's not interrupting with my regular work. So my next advice is to seek community and support. For example, if your passion is running, then maybe you can join a run club or find a running buddy. In my case, outside of my work, I do have the dance community. So there are also a bunch of dancers who have regular 9-to-5 jobs but are still pursuing their dance. When you know people who are going towards the same goals as you are, then it's easier to connect with them. It's easier to ask for help, to ask for advice. In my opinion, you shouldn't let one or the other define who you are, because you can be many things all at once. When you find a community or people who love to do the same things as you do, that gives you a way to share and to also connect with others and maybe give them tips and advice if they need it. You never really know, because maybe you guys are both on the same boat. Maybe you're going through the same struggles. And once you figured something out, then maybe your friend or someone in the same community needed to hear that. So don't be afraid to open up and engage with others so you can share your story as well. And my last advice for today is to practice self-compassion. Balancing your work and your passion isn't always easy, and that's okay. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to remember that you're going through this for the first time, and it's gonna take a lot of trial and errors. Make sure to acknowledge your efforts and to celebrate your small wins. Not everyone's path is the same, and sometimes other people's journeys might take a little longer and others might take a little shorter, and that's okay. We all have our own timeline. Also, allowing yourself to rest without guilt is very, very important. Just because you're not having a super productive day, but you need the rest, doesn't mean that you're not productive, because rest is just as productive. Having that balance of knowing when to push and when to stop for a little while is crucial. So yeah, basically balance your schedule, plan things out if you have to, ask for help, ask for support, and of course, don't give up. A lot of the times, people just give up since they think it's better to just be practical. It's better to just do this job and not be happy because bills are more important. You deserve to go after your dreams. You deserve to go after your passion while you're balancing your regular job. And look up to the people who are already doing what you want to do. Don't be afraid to reach out to them, send a message, maybe even ask them to be your mentor. You're absolutely capable of what you want to do. And if you still don't know what you want to do, it's okay. You have a lot of time. But I'm pretty sure there's something that you're interested in. You just have to be honest with yourself. Now's the time to take action. There's not going to be a right time because you don't know how long you're going to be here. If there are any opportunities, make sure you take them. And that is it for today's Chit Chat vlog. I hope you enjoyed and learned a thing or two. If you guys still have any other questions, then you can leave them down in the comments below. I will reply to them for sure and I'll get back to you. See you guys next week again for another vlog. Bye! I know. I make it hard to let go. Tonight on the road.